It is currently like 10:35 at night on March 23rd, Monday, March 23rd. I lose track of the days. I came home from work. I just came home. My book outlet order arrived. So this is my March Madness haul. Part 5. Naughty girl. I was naughty this month. So here we go. On to the goodies. First, we shall open the box. Honestly, I don't even remember which order this is. So there's the box, and I'm going to show you what I got one by one. So first thing out of the box here, I'm pulling it out, it's like at my feet, is This Girl, which is book 3 in the Slammed series by Colleen Hoover. I have book 2, which is Point of Retreat, and I don't have Slammed yet. I've actually read this entire series. I read it via Kindle years ago. And now I just decided I want to collect the paperback copies. So here it is. Next I have Tumble and Fall by Alexandra Coutts. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. And this is a young adult apocalyptic type deal. This is kind of like the world is coming to an end and these teenagers, they have a limited amount of time. Something apocalyptic is about to occur. The end of the world is definitely happening. In less than a week, a mile-wide asteroid named Persephone will hit the Earth. Its course cannot be altered. Catastrophe is unavoidable. What happens now that the countdown has begun? For Sienna, it's time to turn away from the dark and risk a second chance. For Caden, it's time to find the most important person he's ever lost. For Zan, it's a time to question everything about the love she thought she knew. It was super cheap. It was like $1, $1.99 or something. And you know, why not? And the cover is very like pretty and mesmerizing. It just draws you in, doesn't it? Look at it. I like it. We'll see. Next up, I have a children's book, The Wanderer by Sharon Creech, who is the author of Walk Two Moons, which is one of my favorite books from childhood. I adored that novel. She's also written... And Redbird is another one of my favorites. I've read that one so many times. I was obsessed with it when I was a kid. So I've never read The Wanderer by her and I wanted to pick it up. It's a Newbery Honor book, so that's a plus. And this cover is interesting, right? 13-year-old Sophie hears the sea calling, promising adventure and a chance for discovery as she sets sail for England with her 3 uncles and 2 cousins. Sophie's cousin Cody isn't sure he has the strength to prove himself to the crew and to his father. Through Sophie's and Cody's travel logs, we hear stories of the past and the daily challenges of surviving at sea as the Wanderer sails towards its destination and its passengers search for their places in the world. Yeah, excited. Next up, I have this beautiful, beautiful edition of Cartwheeling in Thunderstorms by Katherine Rundle. Or Rundle. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. But this is another children's book. Y'all know I love them. And this one sounds like a beautiful story of a young girl growing up with her family in Africa on an African farm. And then the farm is sold and her and her family moved to London and she is sent away to boarding school. And it's kind of like that crazy transition from just being this free, wild girl living in Africa, frolicking on the farm with all the animals, going to like London and going to boarding school and like the culture shock and just, yeah, how will she survive type thing. Look at that beautiful cover. How stunning is this? Look at that. And the back. Oh my gosh, the back. So pretty. I love pretty books. They make me so happy. The work of a writer with an utterly distinctive voice and a wild imagination. Philip Pullman, who is the author of his Dark Materials series, blurbed this. You need to get you some of this. Just saying. Here I have The Girls at the Kingfisher Club by Genevieve Valentine. This is an adult novel. And get this, oh my gosh, get this. This is a fairy tale retelling. Yes, It is a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses, okay? Can, let me contain myself. Yes, yes, but it gets better. It's set in the 20s in Manhattan, okay? I mean, how could I pass this up? This is like everything that I could ever want in a book, ever in life. Not to mention this cover is bomb as hell. I just, I just, I die. Okay, I don't, but I live. I live for this. I have no words. Here I have Edith Wharton's The Buccaneers, and this is set in 1870s, which is like the same setting as she has The Age of Innocence, which is a novel of hers that I'm slowly working my way through. I'm on a mission to collect everything by Edith Wharton, so you'll probably see her a lot more in my future hauls. I've watched the like mini-series of this. By the way, if you have Instant Play or Instant Watch on Netflix, go watch this. Go watch The Buccaneers. It's there and it's fabulous. It's amazing. I've watched it several times, but I never read the novel, so I want to do that now. And it's basically about 5 wealthy American girls denied entry into New York society because their parents' money is too new. At the suggestion of their clever governess, the girls sail to London, where they marry lords, earls, and dukes who find their beauty charming and their wealth extremely useful. Oh yeah, you gotta go watch it on Instant Watch, and then you should read this book like I'm gonna do. Yep. Yeah. You guys, I finally got my hands on Seraphina. When I saw this on Book Outlet, I just couldn't believe it. I've been wanting to read this fantasy forever, especially since the second book either just came out or is just about to. I'm not quite sure. So I definitely want to get on this bandwagon soon. Look at this cover. This is one of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen. It's all shiny. Oh, look at that spine, that dragon. All about this. This is by Rachel Hartman, and this was her debut novel. This edition includes a bonus story and is the winner of the William C. Morris Debut Award. So, hey. Okay, Rachel Hartman, you work. The Washington Post blurbed it as a lush, intricately plotted fantasy. This cover, all I know is it has dragons and it's fantasy and yes, kingdoms and all that. It's everything. So happy to have it in my hands. Next is Newbery Honor Book winner medal, you know, Hope Was Here by Joan Bauer, and this is about 16-year-old girl named Hope who is a waitress because her aunt is a cook, and they travel from diner to diner all across the country. They've lived in so many different places, and in this particular novel they are making a journey from New York City, which is where they've been living, and they're moving to a small town in Wisconsin. And it's basically just about, you know, what happens during that move, the transition, what happens in the new town and what they face. I think it's like small town politics and stuff like that. And yeah, I've heard great things about this cute little one. Look how little it is. Short, sweet, powerful. That's what I've heard. Here I have Forgive Me, Leonard Peacock, a novel by Matthew Quick. And this has been all over BookTube recently, and I've heard it's amazing. It's about a boy, and on his birthday, he's going to shoot his best friend and then shoot himself. Whew. So when I'm in the mood for something really just deep and meaningful, I'm definitely going to pick this up. Yeah, it's going to be one of those reads. I finally picked up Meant to Be by Lauren Morrill, and I just wanted something cutesy and sweet and romantic. Maybe I will read this in the summer. Probably I will read this in the summer. This is a young adult romance, just looks cute and sweet. And it's about a young girl who's kind of like the straight A student, follows all the rules, you know, just the good girl, and it's a class trip to London and she gets partnered with the class clown. And hijinks and romance and adventure ensue. Here I have another Katherine Rundle novel, and this is Rooftoppers, which is her most, I guess, well-known work. And yes, this is another kid's book. Children's lit, gotta love it. And yeah, I've heard good things, and I can't wait to read this one. Sophie may have survived a shipwreck as a baby, but her life really began when an eccentric but loving bachelor brought her home Charles uses toast as a bookmark and welcomes Sophie writing on the walls. But when Child Protective Services threatens to remove Sophie to an orphanage, she and Charles flee to Paris to search for the one thing that might save her, her long-lost mother. There, Sophie meets a group of children who live under the radar atop the rooftops of Paris. And she learns that when you never ignore a possible, sometimes the impossible comes true. Here I have Dune by Carrie Corn and Lori Langdon. I have been dying to read this ever since I heard about this. It's a young adult novel, and it's the retelling of the musical Brigadoon, which, oh my gosh, my musical theater background self just squeals in delight. But yes, if you haven't seen Brigadoon, you should definitely check it out. There's a film as well. If it's not being put up in a theater near you, then you should definitely rent the movie because it's delightful. It takes place in Scotland, and it's the retelling of one of my favorite musicals. Yes. And last but not least is Starry Night by Isabel Gillies or Giles. I'm gonna go with Gillies. And this is a young adult novel, another kind of light-hearted romantic read, and this is basically about a night in 15-year-old Ren's life. And this is about how one night can change everything in your life. And Ren is on her way to a black tie event at the Met, or the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and it's curated by her father. So she's on her way to this event. Her mother has lent her this red Oscar de la Renta gown, and she's going with her best friends. And then this wind just blows through the city, and she sees Nolan, which is I think her brother's best friend or somebody's best friend. And yeah, connection, romance, all that good stuff. I couldn't pass this up just because the story, and any book that takes place in New York, I mean, my favorite place in the world, I'm sold. And here I am with all the babes. Struggling. There we go. Oh my goodness. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me haul all that. Ooh, you can't see me. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Oshale signing. My camera cut off. Oshale signing out. Subscribe if you haven't. Thumbs up if you would like to see more videos like this, and I will catch you next time. Bye.